Welcome back to my little world of the wilderness here. This little piece of land was pretty important from 1859 clear into the early 1900s. This little piece of memorabilia apparently was from around 1890. It's kind of fun to share those things. The reason I wanted to share that wolf rig back there is that it's indicative of a season of barrenness. This whole region was entirely pretty much empty of trees by the 1890s. This is the oil region, and the oil prospectors and everybody who was out here pretty much stripped down every tree. I mean, it had been a big lumber industry here prior to that anyways, but let me tell you, when they moved in for the oil industry, these hills were barren. And it amazes me to see how incredibly lush this region has become over the years. It went from every hill just denuded, mud flowing down them. If you see pictures of this era, it will blow your mind. But I've hiked this region, biked it, kayaked it, swam in it, hunted on it, everything you can imagine since I was a child. And it has bounced back. And there's something amazing that's in nature that we need. And I think part of it is the ability to grow and to rewire our minds and our bodies. And I talk about this in the book with forced nature exposure. I call it being forest-minded. And I love the Latin word that I found for it called silva mentis. I actually have a t-shirt line I'm putting up on that because I just think that's the coolest word. So if you want to check it out. But it's all about, you know, a lot of you have heard of Shinrin-Yoku forest bathing. So the bugs got a little bad and I was getting a little sweaty. So I thought I'd bring you back in here to this pavilion that's in the park. I could sit down for a minute and take a little look at the book here as we walk through it a little bit more. Like I said, one of the things we talked about is Shinrin-Yoku, also known as forest bathing. There's a Nordic version of that that I really like called forest mind. And it's really, and the Latin word is silva mentis. And I'm really, the deeper you go into understanding how stepping away from the grind of technology, the grind of constant scrolling, all the different pieces that we're like overwhelmed with every day, stepping into the green, stepping into the fresh air, walking through it, breathing it in. One of the things I was able to share in here is that in 1990, a professor from Chiba University conducted a study in the Japanese forests of Yakushima. I have no idea if I pronounced any of that. He was testing the concept of Shinrin-Yoku, and he reported that 40 minutes of walking in the cedar forest was associated with improvements in mood and vitality. It helps to lower our levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone that ages us so quickly. And it's hard to find good ways to lower that cortisol. There are medical procedures or supplements or things like this or that. But this one's free and easy, and we can get out here and, walking a couple miles a day in the woods, or, if you're near a beach, on a shoreline, any of these places that have the good ions that we need, they're going to help increase our immunity defenses. And these are important things that we need to consider taking the time, getting out here and doing what we need to do. So get outside, rest your mind a bit, hear the birds sing, the brook rustling, the trees rustling, all the little gurgles, sounds, chipmunks and squirrels and everything else. Take some time out and get out there today.